Ezekiel 38 and 1.
You good.
Hey, okay, Shalom. We'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to
Yahawah,
Ba'Hashem,
Yahawashi,
Ba'Hashem,
Ba'Kadash.
Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect brothers teaching the four corners of the earth in sincerity and truth. So, I want to touch on current events and prophecy as usual. What's going on with the Ukraine and Russia. So right now the Lord is using the Ukraine as a middleman to cause tension in between America and Russia. You know, the eagle and the bear, as the scriptures define them. So we're going to go right into it.
Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
Right, and that's talking about what? The area of Russia, Gog and Magog. And when you look up Tubal, even today, in Russia, one of the largest rivers, look it up on your phone, the Tubal River, I think it's
T-U-B-A-L.
I think it's spelled, even today in Russia, they got a big ass river called the Tubal River, and it's right there in Russia. So, and to show you that the Lord sometimes leaves some of these ancient names around to throw, because, you know, people, especially you people in the churches, y'all act like blind to the scriptures, to where you like, I don't mean it's not saying that. So the Lord sometimes leaves these ancient names around or ancient bone around for you to connect the dots with. You know, did it pop up? The Tobol River? Because that's a current river in Russia today. It's a basic like Google search.
I spelled it wrong. I got it. Hold up. It's a couple of these images, Google images.
Yeah, it's about Tobol.
Two-T-U.
Yeah. So the Tobol River in Russia. So you know you could look that up. Let me see what it say. That was what, images?
Yeah, Google images. We want other shit.
Yeah. So, all right, the Tobol River is a western Siberia and is the main tributary of the Ikish. What's that say?
Oh, Urtish?
Yeah. Probably some Russian type
That's
name.
Urtish.
Yeah. So, and a river type big. They say it's about like 700 miles long. Just about, because it breaks off though. You know, so the Lord give these different he left like these different, like the Iran, right? After 35, it went from Persia to Iran after 1935. But you still have what? The Persian Gulf.
The Euphrates.
Yeah, the Euphrates. You still got the Tigris, the Nile, right? You still got the because if you like, if this is the Persian Gulf, where the hell is Persia at? You know what I'm saying? So then you do the research, because the Persian Gulf is still around. So if this is the Gulf of Persia, where the hell is Persia? And you come to find out what? That's Iran, the Iranians, you know? But go ahead.
And prophesy against him. Verse 3. And say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
Right, so that's a lot of good history right there, because Russia been running all the way up to 91, because in 1991 the USSR broke down into smaller republics. Until in 1957 NATO was formed, but the reason NATO was formed was to combat, because the USSR was big as hell. You know what I'm saying? So what Babylon did, America was like, damn, we low as hell going, you know, against Russia. So they grabbed all of them European countries, they gathered them together to combat the USSR. That was the whole purpose of NATO, the alliance of NATO, to go against Russia and them other republics up there.
Western Europe type.
Yeah, like Eastern Europe versus Western Europe. So basically what happened was, in 91, when the USSR broke down, NATO started to push further east onto Russian territory. and they had what basically grabbed the Ukraine. But these devils play games. All the Ukraine's not a part of NATO, but they funded them and backing them.
Right.
So, but that was originally Russia's territory. And when you go against all those, when you look at ancient wars, a lot of those wars started from kings trying to extend their territory. So what? Nothing's new under the sun. You watch the old movie Troy, you know, Hector, you know, and they show you what went down. They was trying to extend the territory, and normally kings would be like, nah, you can't cut through here. Same thing with King Josiah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't cut through here. Your border's line right there. Or with Xerxes, he wanted to have him bow down and extend his territory. That whole greed of conquering the whole land, of conquering the whole earth. But only really one king is going to do that, and that's YAHAWASHI. Nobody ever really been successful. People conquer like the known world at different times, but nobody's going to fully conquer the whole planet and just have it under their thumb, and it's just their rule. Esau's trying to get to that point now, but it's going to be unsuccessful, because really that's the glory of YAHAWASHI.
He's about that nobody can get that set up.
Yeah, that's YAHAWASHI's glory. Even to kill the majority of the people of the earth is YAHAWASHI's glory. You know, the meat shall, and Esau want to depopulate the earth. Yeah, the earth is going to be depopulated, but under the hand of YAHAWASHI. You're not going to have that glory of doing that yourself, off of your own self-will. You know, all that falls under the glory of YAHAWASHI. That's the Lord's glory, you know. But oh, I would turn thee back. So getting into that history, I would turn thee back and I would put hooks into thy jaws. So Russia went astray from 91 to 2000. When did Putin get up in there? Like 2001? He been in like 20. No. It's been more than 10 years.
I think
he came in around like 01.
I think it might be like 16, 17 years so far.
My history a little off.
Because they like American presidents.
Yeah, find out when Putin is basically like a damn dictator.
Right.
Because he'll run for president, then he'll run for prime minister, then he'll run for president, then he'll run for prime minister. He basically hijacked the damn office. But really, it's no other better man for the job. The Lord got in there who he wanted to be in there to do according to his will. Like the scripture, we're going to get that too. He had put it in their heart to...
August 9th, 1999.
I knew it was like around 2000. Yeah. Like he came in 99, right? So before then, you had Gorbachev.
The guy's name was
Mikhail Gorbachev.
Yeltsin.
And Boris Yeltsin.
Yeah, Yeltsin. Yeah,
you had Boris Yeltsin and Mikhail Gorbachev. From when Russia broke down in 91 all the way to when Putin came in 99. And basically they fucked, the bear was asleep. That's why the Lord said, I would turn thee back and I would put hooks into thy jaws, because from when Russia broke down in 91 to 98, especially Yeltsin, Boris Yeltsin, if I'm pronouncing it right, man, he had Russia looking like the West, damn it. He had Russia basically looking real weak, looking like the West. And Gorbachev, so Putin basically came in there and started taking back territory. He's strengthening ties with Iran, right? He did that Ethiopia. Him and Russia and Ethiopia got over 120 years of like friendship. You know, which the scriptures we about to read is going to say Ethiopia. You know, he's strengthening ties with Iran, and he's taking back that territory that NATO pushed in. You know, pushed further east, which they wasn't supposed to do. And that just show you how demonic the West is. So now what? It's causing, hey, Putin is a fucking gangster, man. You know, he like, man, y'all about to give us our shit back. Like, this really our shit. And that's what basically bringing that USSR spirit type back. You know, that old Russian Soviet type spirit back. You know, taking their land back, extending their territory to its original size. That basically he trying to get back all the original lands that was part of the USSR before NATO pushed further east while Russia was asleep during 91, the collapse of the USSR, all the way to 99 to when Putin came back in. But of course, when he came back in, he had to get wind, send in office, get things situated. Then 2001, 2002, he started kind of like flexing with Crimea and these different areas, you know? So, hey man, that's, when the Lord said, I would turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, that's like a whole, really like a whole history right there on how the USSR fell asleep and it had reawoken with Putin. And Putin was like the main dude to bring Russia back to that USSR spirit. And who put the spirit on him to who put the spirit on him to want the Ukraine? The Lord, man. The Lord, because that's stirring up strife. That's stirring up drama. Hey, get that as Isaiah 13. The Lord mustereth the host of the battle. Because he can have the spirit on Putin to just relax. Oh, they ain't beefing with us. I ain't fucking with you. You know, let bygones be bygones. But nah, he's like, nah, we want this territory, we want that. We taking our territory back. They don't take all of the Ukraine back, even if they cut like a portion out. See, America and the West demonic, like the 1948ers. Look what they did to Syria. They cut a portion. Damn, I wish I had my map, because I got like a map of the Middle East. They cut a portion out of Syria and call it the Golden Heights and made it they shit. You know, I call it the Stolen Heights because, like, how the hell you do that to somebody's land? You know what I'm saying? How you be like, listen, I know the borderline right here, but like from here to these houses, we gonna cut into your land and portion out and make it part of our shit.
They call it the Greater Israel Project.
Yeah, the Greater Israel Project. That's what they really trying to do.
They're trying to fulfill the prophecy that was given to us, the prophecy of the, which was
Abraham.
Abraham's land, which what King David had set up when he did, when he went to war with all the different various nations, and then gave it to his son Solomon. Solomon's 40-year peace, he had all that on lock. And that's what the 48ers are trying to fulfill prophecy through their own hands to try to make it, to try to fit that they're the people.
That's right. He's trying to.
That's why they trying to. They looking for certain artifacts, the Ark of the Covenant. You can't find it because guess what? That little ass piece of land you got, it might not even be in there. It might be in Syria or over here somewhere, which is another land's territory. And them 48ers, they shook, man, because above them you got Lebanon, Hezbollah. You got Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is north of them. East of them, you got Syria, and south of them, you got Yemen, which is the Houthi rebels, and all of them is Iranian proxies. They hit Syria with over like damn near 300 airstrikes.
Yeah. And it's funny, that's not talked about in the news.
Yeah,
they don't even talk about that
Anytime
shit.
they get hint of Iran doing anything, airstrike. Bomb it. But if that happened on the other foot around, it would have been a war.
Right.
It would have been a war.
You go ahead.
Like I made a quick reference to Mission of Amalekite stuff. Not only those are the ones that when Jacob tried to go, Israel tried to go through after Egypt, that was the ones that actually shitted on them. Also, you know, like the so-called rats, like how they can say they're really Jews. You said they're trying to fit the prophecy. If you are the actual Jews, why is it the fact that you are asking for getting all this help and getting all this assistance from the world when the Lord said, if you read your Torah, the reason why you went through the Holocaust, if that was punishment, wouldn't that be punishment from God? Because you went off from his laws and his commandments, that's why that happened to you. So how is it that you're getting all this assistance from the whole free world? When the Lord said, no man shall bow. You know what I'm saying?
Punishment is more than natural.
Yeah, so like that's another cut that they not the real Jews, man. Because you wouldn't be getting all this assistance from America and NATO or whatever the hell you getting assistance from, man. Because you understand, like, well, this is because us going off on laws and commandments, and now we getting this punishment. But no, they do the pity parties. You know what I mean? Got you. Isaiah chapter 13 verse 4. start at the top. Yeah. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Right, and the banner that's ultimately, brothers got signs and stuff, but the banner we ultimately lifting up is the Bible. A banner is used to show what the people represent. So the high mountain is government, is one of the highest, is what? Babylon. And that's why lift you up a banner upon the high mountain, and that's, I was going to say summits. You know, a summit, when you look up summit, it means like mountain or government. And when these different countries gathering, they call it what? It's like a G20 summit. So the proof is in the pudding. So lift you up a banner upon the high mountain. Read on.
And exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. We was out here exposing this place to the point, hey, where do you think the feds came from? You know what I'm saying? As far as harassing us and dealing with us. And probably other brothers too, whether they showed their face or not. But with us, they actually showed their presence. You know what I'm saying? But that really came from, and not just us. You know what I'm saying? We can't give the glory to us. But it came from the Lord. Really, the glory goes to YAHAWASHI, putting the spirit on Jake to wake up through the earth and to curse this devil out and tell him his flaws. And brother's been consistent to the point where Esau is doing Mickey Mouse shit. Like, for a person to have control of the so-called world and be running shit and Mr. High Almighty, why you worry about plucking some niggas' YouTube videos down? That's petty as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you a fucking top government. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. You worried about erasing a nigga's YouTube page. Or finding an old video on his page and strike him. That's petty as hell. That's like me worrying about what the ants is doing in that damn bush right there. Like, yo, find which ant stole a piece of bread and step on them. Like, yo, like, why is you worried? Don't you got other shit to do?
Way more bigger fish to fry.
That's what I told the fans. Like, yo, we ain't doing nothing. Like, y'all so on us. I'm like, yo, you know how many people out here doing real shit, real crime?
Right.
I'm like, half of us, a lot of us don't even got criminal records. Why y'all fucking with us? You know, I was being like facetious. He was just looking stupid and shit. But I'm like, yo, there's real shit out here. Gangs, drugs, fucking cartel, coke and shit out here. Real shit for y'all to be busy with. You know?
That's just they got
but
their
that's
hands in
just that
already.
we putting that heat. We holding Esau's feet to the fire, man. So now he doing funny little petty shit to try to deal with us until the Lord really give him the green light to deal with us how the Lord see fit.
Precept for you. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. But the Most High has chosen the foolish things of this world, of the world, to confound the wise. The Most High has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Right, and that's how he get his glory. He go with what? The underdog to show his power. Like he told who was that where he said to pick out 300 men?
Gideon?
Gideon, yeah. With Gideon, 300 men, he ain't won a whole lot, you know? Because then it's just like, we was deep, so we took him down. So that's how the Lord show his power. He deals with the underdog. And who been the underdog to this world for the whole time? Jake, man. Jake been on the bottom, you know? The Lord said, I will scatter thee into corners. I will remove thee to the four corners of the earth. And every hood, every country, every county got a ghetto, and who's in there? Jakes. Whether they look like Jakes or not. You know, a lot of them, a lot of ghetto, even South China, where Bruce Lee and Bolo Young from, where do you think a lot of them sweatshops and shit at? It's down there in South China, where Canton, Hong Kong, Cantonese down there in South China, that's the triads. Them ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas. They remind me of like the Bloods and the LA Bloods and shit. They got tats on their face. Them niggas is wild, man. You know? So that's the curses that befell Israel. Now the Lord is reversing it and waking us up throughout the four corners of the earth. There's more on that?
A little bit more. It says, in the base things of the world, and the things which are despised, as you just said, has the Most High chosen, the things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are.
Right. Because people look at us like, oh, what they got to say. Who is these guys? They on the bottom. And the Apocrypha talk about when the rich man speak versus when the poor man speak.
That's it on that.
I finished in Isaiah. Continue on Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. Actually, no, I read verse 3. I didn't read verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones from mine anger. Even then I rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Right, the Lord is stirring up the battle amongst these different nations, because he could have it where they just on some chill shit, you know? But he putting the spirit on them to behave and to act a certain way, especially with Russia, because Russia is what, the key player. And it all makes sense because what? We in the phase, all the prophecies line up. I believe when this thing go down, it's going to be a domino effect, and we're going to be in the kingdom. Because right now, with this whole C-19 and all of that, we have everything going digital, everything going wireless, everything going cashless. You know, so while Esau's doing that, the next step is what? The RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. But when that comes, really, how long is that going to be around? Like, when you think of it like, oh, well, like, I know it's a voluntary stage and an involuntary stage, but really, like, how long is that that's just going to sit there? You know? So now the Lord is like, all right, line that up, but get some World War III going, because when this shit pop off, I don't need them to be lacking, Russia and America lacking on their tension. I need tension built over here. I need that chip. Okay, the chip thing locked up. Israel us waking up is a major prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Dudes bugging out. I ain't gonna mention names because they ain't worth it really. But it's no, like the priest Bakar was bringing out in his previous video. And you shouldn't act surprised. You can sleep on the Sabbath. Just say spirits coming back. You know what I'm saying? Comfy did it. Yohana, these different dudes. It's just a repetitive repeating cycle. And evil men shall wax worse and worse, which is all what? Prophecy. So the Lord got these, all right, that's in play. All right, amplify that a little more. Some prophecies, the Lord don't even need to turn up no more. He might say, okay, that one's fulfilled. You know, you might be thinking like, oh, each prophecy got to be turned up to the max in order for the Lord to count it as being fulfilled. Nah. It was certain small things in the scriptures that the Lord did, and it was fulfilled when it said he was born in Bethlehem, and you know, oh, that was it. Yeah, it's fulfilled. Okay, all right, next. You know what I'm saying? Because we moving forward towards the kingdom. Every prophecy ain't got to be turned to 1,000 to the fullest max for the Lord to be like prophecy fulfilled. Because he's going to let us foot off the gas to a certain point, because this place going to go back to sleep. Because it says what? The day of the Lord shall come like a thief in the night. So people going to feel like, okay, things is going back to normal. Things is doing this, and that's when the Lord going to pull up, man.
That's right. I want to say real quick that there's going to have to be a major false flag, like an AMP attack or something, that's going to crash the economy and have like a major reset. Because this devil can't just come out and just come out with the RFID chip and everybody has to take it, this, that, and the third. No, he has to create a problem and then provide a solution. You know what I mean? So now, you know, everybody's going to have to, so when they do this shit, they pull this event off. So now it's going to be, hey, listen, we have a problem, but I can help you out with your problem. So now all you have to do is just accept this chip. And everybody's just going to give in because they're going to want, you know, the lights and everything, you know, society to be back up running again. So, and there's going to be a lot of death and destruction and shit out here, and people are not going to understand why.
Hey, it could be, you're right. Not saying you're wrong, but it could be more severe. But who's to say? We don't know that the problem is actually this virus. Right. They could be like, yeah, I'm going to use this to bring in the chip. I ain't about to do nothing else wild. But we know it's going to be blackouts and stuff. Not saying you're wrong, because you're just speculating through the spirit.
Right. This all through the
but,
spirit, right.
Hey, the Lord can have it like, the problem, we got the global set up. We using this to bring it in.
They're talking a lot about pretext of cyber attacks. You know, and that's a very very prevalent thing that's being spoken about in the governments in the geopolitical world right now is, oh, watch out for Russia's cyber attack. So like how the brother said, they could use that as a reason to say like, oh, there's a cyber attack in Russia, you know, Russia, you know, hit this infrastructure. You know, they hit the financial infrastructure,
Right.
or they hit the electrical grid that caused the X, Y, and Z. Because everything is interconnected in this society. So if you hit one part of the society, it's going to have a trickle effect on every other part of society. And that's why they're always talking about cyber attack, cyber warfare, so that when it happens, they could be like, oh, well, we try to warn everybody. Because you even have Biden came out and said earlier this week that democracy has to be fought for, and he's not going to lie. It's not going to be painless to the American people. So he's telling you right now, like the shit that's about to happen is not going to be painless. So pain is coming, you know, and that's the scriptures that we talked about, man.
Remember that Die Hard? I forget which one it was. It was like a major blackout. And he had to like travel and find his daughter.
The fourth and fifth one.
Yeah,
His daughter was grown.
yeah.
the
His
fourth
daughter
and
was
fifth
grown. He had to go crash his car and shit.
I want to say that was in Jersey. That's when he
The
had to
whole
go to
like
Russia. Yeah.
eastern seaboard, like that shit was like blacked out.
Might have been fifth one. I think that was the fifth one.
You know, hey, look what happened in Texas. Like, what was that, a year or two ago?
God, with
With the storm.
the storm,
and,
yeah.
and during the snow. Hey, pray not that flight
Last
be in the
year,
winter.
when they had a cyber attack on, I think it was a colonial pipeline with gas in the eastern southern of America, there was like the gas prices was like skyrocketing because there was a cyber attack on one of the pipelines, and that affected like 4 or 5 states. And people was wild. They was putting gasoline in their pickup truck, not even in cans, just like in the back of the bed of a pickup truck. There's just throwing gasoline. Yep. You got other people putting it in bags. And one person got into a car accident and the shit exploded and they died and shit.
Damn.
Some Jake woman. They put it in plastic bags, gas, yo. I'm like, and that's like, and that made me think of like the scriptures where it talks about you were trying to flee from a lion and run into a bear. But she was over here thinking that she was going to try to flee from the not having gas. So she overly, you know, put gas into plastic bags, and she's getting away, and it ends up actually running into a fucking bear, and her car explodes and dies. So that's just the Lord's judgment right there, man.
You got room down some because the scripture you have to read. They say
From that area out
Apocalyptic.
there. Yeah.
Not walking dead shit.
grim.
Yeah, grim.
That's the day of the Lord. Lord said yeah. See, funny you said that. I went to that word buster. Well, it said buster, but word buster. And one of the meanings is to collect, assemble, bring together in a group or body, especially for military service or inspection. You know what I'm saying? Because talk about he bring all the muster of the battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what all these things, all these events are leading up to, that great battle. You know what I mean? That's what the brother said. All the things leading up, what Russia doing, what Ukraine doing, what America doing, Iran, Russia, all these countries, all these things happening, it's all leading up to that great day. And that's why the Lord is mustering up everything for the battle. Let me read what it said. It said, I'm reading it in the book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. So he's getting all these, Joel, I believe the 3rd chapter, he talks about, the great the great war of Armageddon, Valley of Jehoshaphat, you know what I'm saying? That's all this is leading up to.
Hey, and guess what? Out of NATO, out of the EU, what Britain is out of it. So, hey, they was a major figure, with NATO, and Britain is up from the Brexit, So that's a weaker stance on what on the west side, not having Britain.
They don't talk about that often.
Yeah, they like, hey, there's a lot of shit y'all talking. What about ICE and all those Issachar children they fucking misplaced?
Yeah.
Did you?
Or
What's
killed.
the update on that?
Yeah.
Did you give them back, find their families, homes and shit like that? There's some mad shit that these devils done did just in the past current year or two that they don't update the public on.
I was gonna say to that point, it's funny Esau's such a damn devil that he did the whole if you get this sticky stab, you know what I'm saying, you can get what's the word, legal in the country, like you get a citizenship. Yeah, citizenship. He was saying that if you get it, you can get citizenship. That was one of the ploys he was using on the illegal immigrants, man. You know what I mean? To get that.
He probably denying the shit too.
But you know, a lot of them probably take it.
Yeah, they'd take it and he'd make up some bullshit excuse on why they gotta wait and never answer this shit. Just like reward money. Like a lot of people call in for this suspect. You turn your best friend in for 50,000, and a lot of that reward money. Oh, we had other people had a hand in leading up to it. Yeah, a lot of people that reward money, they'll be coughing up a lot of that, man. Esau be holding on to it. It'd be like a scheme, you know, a scam, a con artist, Bernie Madoff type shit. And this dude got bread and got money, but he still choose to oppress and scam and scheme on the people, you know? But
Can we continue on that? I think it's
I think that's it.
Yeah,
that was it. Finish that Ezekiel.
We do have some.
This is Ezekiel 38:4. And I will turn
right.
thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine armed horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
Yeah, all sorts of armor, because now you don't just got nuclear weapons. See, the war, there's different ways to go to war. You got financial wars, because Russia be running pipelines and shit to Germany. You know what I'm saying? So they want to cut different gas lines and pipelines, because if you could cut certain pipelines and fuel lines, these conventional weapons and your tanks and all that run off of gas. That's why, hey man, anytime a country at war, that society, whatever country that is, society is going to change, man. Society is going to change. Because when a country at war is like, yo, shit is different now. We beefing. Like shit ain't sweet no more. We beefing with Russia. But these peons still go around like it's still everyday life.
You know why that is though? The spirit, because what is America known as? The virgin daughter of Babylon, that virgin whore. So that's like a whore. She doesn't really understand the feeling of being drilled. Okay, and America doesn't. America doesn't understand. These Americans don't understand the feeling of having war on the soil. So like when a virgin, let's say for instance, if a virgin hasn't been around a certain type of environment, hasn't been in a predicament where they could be raped or taken advantage of, they could be real careless. And that's how Americans are, man. They're real careless when it comes to war. They're real careless when it comes to the effects of war, because they've never actually been touched before. They've never actually had, that song Bombs Over Baghdad. You never had bombs over New York City. You never had to worry about a certain, type of tanks rolling up and down the street. That's why when it happens here, when that time comes here, these people are going to bug the hell out, man.
Right, I ain't gonna read that, just to back the elder.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 21. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom.
Yeah, folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom. To back what the elder was saying. Because you probably wonder, like, how these people can live the lives they live and just love it. Because they don't have the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWASHI. They can't see past this place. So what they do is they look at shit like football or like the Super Bowl, and it means everything to them, and they deceive themselves that this stuff is everything, so their lives won't be straight up fucking boring.
Comfort zone.
They create a whole, that one thing the Lord said, let no man deceive himself.
God.
Well, one thing they do is they create a fucking imaginary world inside their own mind, and they live inside that world, and they make these things seem like it's everything.
The metaverse.
Yeah, they're metaverse.
Yeah, I got to preach that.
Yeah, so they like blinded because they is destitute of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of YAHAWASHI. And I used to always wonder, I knew the Lord blinded them. I knew that was the scripture, the reason. But when I ran across that scripture, it kind of like explained it more.
Yeah.
You know, because I used to like, how the fuck y'all niggas just sit on the corner, don't go nowhere, just smoke weed all day, just look there, look dumb as hell all day, and laugh and have fun doing nothing all day.
All day, every day.
You go to work, you see
I
the
could have
nigga
got, what's that song? Would have went to work, but then I got high. Hey, that be a lot of our people mentality.
That's slow ass mentality.
They unproductive in their lives, man. You know?
Yeah. It's the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Right. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, which we do, and what hideth himself. You know, those that is blessed with the eye sound, the insight. You know, and what do we hide ourselves in? The word of the Lord, the name of the Lord. That's what's going to protect us, which is Yahawah, the Heavenly Father name, and His Son YAHAWASHI. We going to keep pushing that
right.
all the way into the kingdom and beyond.
That's right.
But the simple go on and are what? And are punished. You know?
Let me finish. I'm sorry again. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 21. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding cometh rightly. That's pretty self-explanatory. I want to add on to your point.
Yeah.
The people, when they in the folly of this world, I was reading, I put it in the group chat yesterday, Wisdom of Solomon, 4th chapter, and it says, you know, a lot of things that people are doing now is having children and getting married. And you know, that goes back to the time of the days of Noah and whatnot. So it says, the people without, it's better to have no children than to be without virtue, basically, roughly paraphrasing. And I went to the word virtue, it was basically saying a moral code. You know what I'm saying? Like, understanding that moral code is the scriptures, man. So if they don't have that, all they have is this world to hold on, to hang on to. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really their wisdom. That's their, and it's flourishing here. It still seems like it's flourishable. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord said it's not going to flourish much longer. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's bad. You said it's better to have no children than to have no virtue.
Yeah, that's rough paraphrasing.
And
yeah.
that's spirit. That's bad because you're supposed to bring
Wisdom
your child up on a certain virtue, on a certain moral code. But a lot of our people, or a lot of this people in general, in this time that we're in, being in these last and evil days, they have no moral code. So then, therefore, they begat children, and they begat children with no moral code, and that's why you see all these damn demons out here, man.
Yeah, they grow up to be a bunch of fucking delinquents.
You got 7-year-old, 8-year-olds killing their little kids, their little sisters and brothers and shit. All right, cursing their parents out because why? Because the parent has no moral code.
Right. Cycle.
Yeah, and that's it's structure, you know. But man, like in this place, you were saying everything's connected, you know. So
Alert.
yeah, what the elder was bringing out on the moral code, because even like 20 years ago, right, you had moral code. Even with street, even your parents would tell you don't eat with your elbows on the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't when adults talking, don't interrupt people in the midst of their speech. When the adult is talking, like
Go in the other room. You couldn't even be in the room when adults were together.
around. Yeah, go in the other. Ain't no kids in here.
Yep,
They'll
yep.
look at you. You see any kids in here? And you will look like, take your ass in the other room. You know, you had to call your aunt if her name was Aunt. If her name was Jackie, you couldn't say Jackie. Hey Jackie.
Even your older cousins, you had to call them aunt.
Cousin.
Nah, my older cousin had to call them aunt.
Oh yeah. You had to like that was significantly older.
Yeah, probably like good 10 plus.
But even the ones that age, we'd be like cousin. It was like that family title given. But yeah, older cousin, we call like Aunt Michelle. Like I got Aunt Michelle. She's actually my cousin, but she got me by like 12, 13 years. So we'd say aunt.
Yep.
We'd say aunt and all that. So even let's deal with street code. Even though like you sell drugs, you couldn't sell drugs to pregnant women. You couldn't sell drugs to kids, children. You couldn't do children. You couldn't do pregnant women, and you couldn't
old people.
No snitching, and you can't fuck your boy's your boy's girl. You can't like we ain't it was really street code where, like, yo, we don't fuck with each other's girl amongst the circle, like, no messing with each other's, like your main girl. Like that was like real moral.
Wow, brother.
All right, shalom,
Peace,
brother.
peace.
That was like real moral street code amongst people. Now people just don't. I'm just jumping back 20 years. Now people just don't, just straight up don't give a fuck, man.
You seen that in the movie Casino when his boy was fucking his woman, you know, and I think one of the one of the higher ups, whatever, from the Italian mafia, whatever, it was like, yo, listen, that shit is off what you doing, man. You popping this man's wife, and this, that, and the third. That can cause strife. And look what happened. He ended up getting killed. Him and his brother. They got buried alive.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci, right?
Yeah.
Nicky Santoro.
Right.
I want to say not Charlize Theron, Sharon Stone. I think it was
Sharon Stone, right?
Yeah. She was a bitch in that movie.
She's always a bitch.
He did everything for her, man. You can't appreciate shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, that showed you the nature of Eve. You know, they more. You know.
Oh,
But, what was it? Oh, you're still in that Russia, right?
Right.
Yeah, right. Then I want to touch on.
Let's start from the top. Ezekiel 38:4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Like all of them handling swords. Read on. Meaning they're military weaponry. And now you got what? Conventional weapons. Right. See, you got proxy wars. That's fighting through smaller countries. Yeah, I'm going to send my little man. You send your little man. And I'm going to act like I don't know him. And you going to act like you know him. But I'm going to act like it wasn't me. But everybody know it was your ass. That's like, like petty bullshit. But it's still a war, though. It's still tension. And you know, with that beef shit, the Lord really calmed a beef down. Like to really look at that, them niggas in California, them niggas been beefing since the 60s. Them certain gangs and sets out there. You know, you'll see certain documentaries like the Rolling 60s and the 8-Trade gangsters. Like, they've been beefing and will there ever be peace? Nah, man, it went too far. We just can't.
You know how it started.
Yeah. One of the battle rappers said a point. It was kind of hot lyrically, but it was sad. He said that OG beef in the hood, we think surrogate. We knew it ain't belong to us, but we carried it. So, meaning,
You know what I'm saying?
you coming up as a new gang member, and all the bullshit they did falls on you. And you gotta just get involved with it because you done joined the gang. So that the point I'm making is that beef shit could be like never ending. Like never ending. They showed you that in BMF where he was like, he was like, if I shoot him, then Terry would come back and shoot him, that, which was wisdom. So he found another way to kind of like go around it.
YAHAWASHI, the scriptures talks about the Lord said he gonna have war with Amalek forever.
Yeah.
He didn't forget what he did. He didn't forget what he did to us in Egypt, man. Well, after Egypt. You know what I'm saying? That was
from generation to generation.
It said Amalek was the ones when Jake tried to pass through the land. It was like, nah.
Thank you.
Now, what you saying? Amalek, through the land?
Post Egypt. You know what I'm saying? After we went through Egypt, you know, they were trying to go through the land. It was Amalek that gave him problems, gave him hell. You know what I'm saying? So like the Lord didn't forget that, because remember that's after our deliverance. So now that we under Amalek now, basically, what he think what's going to happen now? You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau didn't consider. He did.
They tell you that he didn't consider the latter end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is
You got anything else? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 38:5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Verse 6. Gomar and all its bands, the house of Togarmah.
Togarmah is Turkey, right? And basically, Turkey is like one of the most powerful forces in NATO outside of Babylon as far as their army. Now, Putin had, I think his name Erdogan for Turkey, prime minister or president. Putin had saved him from a coup. They tried to whack him. And then Turkey was showing hella rebellion like a couple of years ago towards NATO. You know what I'm saying? And they were saying they want to kick him out of NATO. So really when this thing go down, and Turkey got a lot of ties with like Russia and all of that. So when this thing go down, it's going to be countries that you thought was with Babylon, they going to side with Russia.
That's scripture. They said they're gonna turn and hate the Lord, turn against her.
Yeah, which is Revelations 17 and 18. You know?
I get it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Pull that out. Probably want to work that phone.
Nah, I want the phone to get wet.
Okay,
I'd rather this.
Flip right to
Yeah.
That's just one take, Jake.
Should I start at, I guess I'll start at
15?
well, because it talks about oh yeah, there we go.
16?
I ain't got too high. Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Right, and so that hatred, you know, you had Trump talking shit to NATO, talking about they should pay up. So, and what basically too, what America does is, right, they use NATO as stunt dummies to do stupid shit with Russia. Like, case in point, like 7 years back, America tried to put nuclear defense systems in Poland, man, which is Russia's backyard. Russia like, man, if you don't take that shit down, I'm gonna bomb your ass. And they ain't, and I don't know if they put it, they wound up not putting it up or like not going through with it. You know what I'm saying? So what America does is they try to send these little stunt dummy countries in for like booby traps with Russia when they like, yo, in World War I and II, our cities got destroyed, not yours. You know, and that's how America does. So a lot of these countries is more it. Like, yo, we're not gonna be your stunt dummy to fuck with that bear over there. You know, like you see a big ass grizzly bear over there, you be like, yo, go over there and try to steal a piece of fish. You know, I'll look you out economically. And they like, yeah, you trying to get us fucked up.
Trying to send them to death.
Right. So, and these countries know that, like, yo, you trying to use us as pawns, because America going back Israel, we know that. But they trying to, outside of Israel, they using all these, they call vassal states. You know what I mean? They using all these vassal states and all these countries in NATO that's under them to do stunt dummy shit to antagonize the bear. Then they can say whether they want to engage in the war, they can back off. They be like, oh, that's Russia and France going at it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened. And they could play the backfield and just see like, oh shit, oh. Then whereas Russia military get weak, then America's, because Esau's a fucking faggot, man, straight up. Yeah, he as they fighting and his army dwindle a little bit, shit looking bad, then he try to come in and swipe. But the killer point of that, we got nuclear missiles. See, a nuclear weapon deads all of that shit. It don't matter how big your army, it don't matter if one man left. All he gotta do is make it to that button.
Press that button. Press that button.
All you gotta do is make it to that button. And that's the end of, that's ball game. See, once you playing with ICBMs, it's no winner in a nuclear fight. But YAHAWASHI is the winner in a nuclear war. So you could try them old war tactics, but at the end of the day, because nobody really rule with ground troops, people do that shit. That's why they got the Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and all these different new video games, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare, because the real way of warring is just airstrikes and bombs. That's how people war, conventional weapons, robots, fucking Terminators, and, you know, drones, and that's the real new way of war. Like soldiers on ground marching, shooting AK-47s. They gave that to niggas. They're like, man, give them AKs and shit to Jake in the hood. Let them have all that shit. We got drones, we got this, we got that, we got this and that. So that's the new modern, more way of war, which was way more destructive, which goes into the glory of the Lord. Because these conventional weapons and this technology is also going to be used to turn to fight the Lord, what's going to glorify his deliverance.
That's why none of them nations really want to be the first to strike, because they know that it's going to be basically like they really don't believe in the kingdom to come that we're talking about. So it's like whoever's in charge is trying to just stay on top right now.
Yeah, they got a acronym amongst the geopolitical countries called MAD, Mutual Assured Destruction, and that goes into basically it's like a non-verbal agreement that nobody will shoot missiles, nuclear missiles at each other, because if everybody got missiles, then that means that everybody's going to be destroyed. So it's called mutually assured destruction if they have if they go into a nuclear warfare. But the scriptures tells us in Revelation 17 that the Lord said that He's going to put it in their heart to fulfill His will. So even though they may think, yo, if we shoot our missiles, they're going to shoot their missiles, and we both going to be destroyed. But the Lord is still going to have that actually go down, and that goes to show you the power of the Lord, man.
Just the fact that they got them. Because if it was like that, they'd be like, man, everybody's
Get rid of it. Exactly. I was just thinking
like
the
the
same thing.
Superman.
That's all to get rid of. Yeah.
Put them shits in a blanket and throw them shits into the sun.
Nobody having it. Because that's really, it's funny, that's the spirit, I think the spirit of Yahawashi, that's crazy. I was just thinking, like, yo, the easy solution is just everybody just stop making them, and all the ones that everybody had, just get rid of them. If you really wanted to end the possibility of a nuclear war.
Hey, but what the scripture said, I created the
Exactly.
the Smith.
For his will. But like you just said, the Lord did it for his will. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what they want. Because nobody wants to destroy each other.
And you know what? If Esau wasn't the devil, it could go down like that.
Yeah.
But it's all about, with them, it's all about greed and power and control. So now it's like, listen, we want weapons nobody else got, so we could bully them, we could tell them what to do. If they talk shit, we could just flex on them. If they kick up, we got the top weaponry. And see, and now that forces other people. That's like, we in the
weak
city.
sound strong.
Yeah, we in the city of Elizabeth now. We got automatic weapons. We a gang. We got automatic weapons. You know, MAC-10s that spit 50 rounds in 2 seconds. And we give everybody else pocket knives and shit like that. Or like little pack.
Little 22s.
22. And we tell them like, nah, none of y'all can have fully automatic weapons.
Right.
Y'all can't even have Glocks and shit. Only thing y'all can get is like a 5-shot 22. Right. That's it.
We got the AKs.
Yeah, we own the AK. What they gonna do? They gonna act like they gonna comply, and they gonna find ways. They gonna find ways to get their hands on some AKs. So, and all that time you was oppressing them, they gonna be mad as hell, just like it says in Joel 3.
I'm about to get it.
Yeah, good. They gonna be like, all right, we got AKs too. So like, what's up? You know? And now you trying to prevent them from getting AKs. So we doing meetings like, yo, you heard them all over there. Niggas we gotta do some raids or something over there. We can't let them niggas get no AKs. If enough of them get start getting AKs and shit, we fucked. You know?
It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse. Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near.
Yeah, and the mighty man is woken up. But the Lord got them just, they up, but they not fully engaging in an attack, because the Lord also lining up other prophecy. So when this thing kick off, he can have it go down as he please in a way, but he is setting up the chess pieces. Like Putin got Russia, all these countries is awoke. Kim Jong-un still missile launching and testing and shit.
China over there talking about they upset with America better not get involved in the Pacific tension that they got with Taiwan, because that Taiwan is basically China's property. But they trying to be their own country, and then America's talking about they going back Taiwan. So China's like, look, if you get involved in this, we're going to get to see us then. And that's the same thing America's doing with Ukraine. Ukraine, like the elder said earlier, Ukraine is really a part of Russia.
right there.
That is Russia.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Russian
right there.
shit. Like that's like
Pennsylvania, Georgia, all
Staten Island right here, right? That's like New Jersey, like, you know what? Motherfucking Giuliani and them went on vacation. We about to just take Staten Island. Man, they come back and now Staten Island, that shit got different tolls and shit. You like,
Right,
yo,
right.
this our shit.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, you can't, Ukraine is originally a part of Russia. That's Russian shit. That's their territory, man. You can't keep, what NATO wanted to do was to keep pushing further east until it's just no more Russia. But the Lord stopped them in their tracks, man.
It's his plan. My man, I actually met a Ukrainian young lady at one of my past jobs, and she was shocked the fuck out too. But like, she was Ukrainian, and I asked her because this was like all this Russian stuff kicking up. I was like, so like, what's it like in Ukraine? Like, do y'all really like be beefing with Russia like that? She's like, Ukrainian people in Ukraine, like they don't be off it like that, like on some like we hate Russia type shit. Because in America's media, they make it you think that Ukraine and Russia are really at odds with each other. But like the Ukraine, like some of them, like they like what Russia is doing and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Especially Eastern Ukraine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's where the problem's at right now.
Yeah, like Eastern Ukraine, but that's basically, that's Russian shit. It's been part of the USSR forever. It just from 91 to 98, NATO pushed further east.
Right.
Them 8 fucking years, I had this shit forever. It's like you go to jail for a week and somebody be like, yo, you know, you like, what? I've only been gone for a week. Like, I own this property for, like, how you gonna take my shit that fast? So from 91 to what pool came, 99?
Said 99, yeah.
Yeah, that's
99.
8 years. That then they push further east onto Russian territory, trying to if this is a word, de-size the USSR.
Trying to destabilize Russia's economy, really.
Thank you. The destabilize, that's a better phrase. To
Only be one.
destabilize them economically. Because economics deals with a major factor in war. Like the bloodshed is like one point, but before that, like economics plays a major factor in war. Like that nigga Tupac, you can't go to war unless you got your money right. Now I got my money right. Now I want war. So that's the same thing. What on a larger scale, man.
What does that go back to? Saints house being divided too? Because those are Edomites as well. You know what I mean? So it's like this is like Esau. Like how can you stand as a nation when you got these two countries at war with each other and at odds with each other? You know what I'm saying? They're going to be one. You know what I mean?
Joel chapter 3, verse 10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Yeah, a plowshare and a pruning hook is what's up? A plowshare and a pruning hook is farming instruments, and the sword and the spear are war instruments. Basically, what the Lord is saying that these countries are like third world countries. They're poor, although Russia's an actual superpower. But like a lot of these other countries is poor. So money that they would spend on like food and stuff like that, they're actually investing into what? A nuclear program. Like Turkey they didn't get the S-500 from Russia.
S-300.
Then it was the 300 because
Yeah.
Russia like, we ain't giving you the 5 because that 5, because you know Turkey is still a so-called part of NATO. So they like, we'll give you the 300 just in case they try to start like shooting shit at y'all. And that shows you that bond between Magog and Togomar. Like we was just reading in the Z. Because really, why would Russia to a NATO country give them fucking S-300? That's stupid.
Right.
But it's not stupid if you understand the Lord's will from what was written in His Word. Yeah. Turkey gonna side with Russia.
Yep. It says, let the weak say I am strong. Assemble yourselves, come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen around about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI is near in the valley of decision. All right, hey, and that's going on to what's happening right now, man. That's why you're seeing all this tension going on in the world with the war, man. And it's bad how the Lord said let the heathen come up, because guess who the only ones out of all these nations that really don't got no armies? It's Israel, the Israelites, the people of the Most High, the people of the book.
He is armed, right?
You know, and that's why the Lord is having all these heathens ultimately come together to go to war, because this is how this age, which is the age of Esau, is going to be destroyed. And then YAHAWASHI is going to come with our army to rescue us from the hands of our enemies, man, because we're prisoners of war right now, man. The last time we had a formidable army was what? The house of David. And that's what the Lord is raising up again, man.
Jake can't form no type of army. Even on the left-hand side, they little gangs and shit, that shit get broken down and, you know, broken up, you know.
Hey, look what the Grandmaster Jay had. The NF, what is it called? The NF, the no fucking around coalition, NFAC. That was supposed to be an army of Jake that knew how to use their weapons. Where they been at for the last year and a half, man?
Look at Black Wall Street. That's not an army, but that was an economic, like an economic thing set up. And people kill me like, oh, black people problem is like, we need more businesses, we need to do this and that economically. But yo, it's like y'all motherfuckers forgot about Black Wall Street.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we did all of that shit already, and the shit got fucked up. We so blocked it. You know what I mean? Really, which was the Lord. You know, the Lord blocked it. Because there wasn't time for us to, it wasn't time for us to reign and set up in power. Oh, y'all need to do, we need more businesses and this and that to fix our problem. Nah, our problem is that we turned from Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, so he punished us. So we did all these different remedies like Black Wall Street, the NFCA, and these different movements, and them shits got diminished, man. There's only one solution to our problem, and that's YAHAWASHI.
And that goes back to the curse where it said, no man shall buy you. You go into that word buy, it's quatna, which basically is Old English for sell, but when you go into the Hebrew, it means to redeem.
Right.
You know,
buy back.
To buy back. And no man was able to buy us back from the curse that the Lord put on us, except the one who did the buying back with his blood, man, which is who? YAHAWASHI. Our savior, our deliverer, man.
It just niggas kill me with it, because it's a new digital age, so Esau made it a little easier to make money, especially with the internet and crypto and all this shit. So now everybody's is a fucking scholar to the next wave or the next group of millionaires and this and that. And black people was coming off and black people was getting it together.
They know shit's over.
Yeah, like yo, that shit is all gonna get turned into the microchip.
Exactly.
Yep.
Esau letting you get a taste of that, them so-called riches, and he gonna RFID chip that shit. So if you wanna hold on to your crypto funds and your digital wallet and all that shit, you gonna have to accept the chip.
I appreciate it. And to add on to that point, and that goes to show with the curses, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you, the Lord said, that's the scripture in Braille. Like the Lord said that you're gonna, I know you say you're gonna gather much, but you're gonna gather the grapes, but you're not gonna drink of the wine. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, every time you kind of get some kind of progression in Esau's kingdom, the Lord is going to put that monkey wrench in it, which is usually going to be Esau. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not your kingdom. You know what I'm saying? He gives them get the glitz and glory a little bit, but you won't be able to keep. Oh, they started it with the you know what? You know what I'm saying? That thing in the syringe. They started with that. Hey, you want to keep your job? You got to get this. You know what I'm saying? I have a family that just got it because what? You lose your job. You know what I'm saying? The CEOs in New Jersey, Wednesday was the deadline for them to get that. So if they didn't get that, they said expect to get suspended and then ultimately be terminated, man. That's all at the NJDOC.
And that's the fear that Esau uses, man. He puts that, and Jake, the scripture talks about how we was all our time in bondage because of the fear of death.
Right.
You know, and work, having a job is how you do what? It's how you keep your livelihood. Okay, so if you can't have a job, then that means you can't maintain your livelihood. So in a sense, then you really just out here dead if you're not able to work. The scripture says if a man can't work, he can't eat. So Esau knows all this, and he uses that as a pressure point to get people to do things that they don't want to do, which ultimately is going toward that chip. So he's going to get them to make that ultimate sacrifice of sin, which is going to lead them to their destruction, all out of fear. Got it.
And he gonna leave you with no choice, but you also you do have a choice, which is YAHAWASHI. But it's gonna take faith for you to go there. Hey, what David said, I have been old and I have been young. Never have I seen the righteous forsaken nor a seed begging bread.
Right.
But you have to. Everything goes back to faith. You have to actually believe those things.
Trust and confidence. That's what they do.
Yeah, God.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 38. 28 verse 38. It says, thou shalt carry much seed out. Talk about Jake trying to progress in here. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. It says, verse 39, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast its fruit. You know what I'm saying? It's basically saying like anything you do is you're not gonna be the beneficiary of it, man. Esau is, man. Esau benefits off of all of this NFT, Bitcoin, all that stuff, man. Jake just getting crumbs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But even those crumbs gonna get snatched.
God, yeah, exactly.
You know, because Jake put their faith in that to where, and that make the Lord flip on you. All right, if the Lord do you something, fine, take it and stay humble. But what Jake do? They start partying, yeah, nigga, yeah. So the Lord probably like, yeah, I'm trying to look you out.
Yeah.
Now niggas boasting and bragging and doing all this dumb shit. Now I'm gonna fuck you up and take your shit. I mean, they provoked what the script say, how they provoke the Most High to anger. You know, you can't even throw a nigga a crumb because Jake start doing extra shit. You know, Jake start doing extra shit and the Lord like, man, Esau going down. I'm about to bring y'all up. Let me throw you a little something. You know, Jake get it and start sinning and start boasting and bragging. You know?
That's why I got a scripture for that too, because you know when you think about the scriptures and the judgment, everything's supposed to hit Israel first. So when it talks about in the the evil days and like the judgment on earth for the people that live in wicked, it's talking to Israel first, and the Esau and the other nations second. But to your point about that, this is the book of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 27. It says, "He that is greedy of gain troubleth he that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live." You know what I'm saying? And that's basically Jake taking on the ways of Esau, man. Because Esau's the greedy bastard. But now Jake has taken on that same trait. And that's why I said evil shall trouble his house, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to really never be that what you think you're going to get to, what you're trying to attain, you're not going to never get that.
Psalm 62 verse 10, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
If they increase. But yeah, just take it for what it is. We Jakes, we Israelites. You want to get fly, get fly. You want to go on a trip or vacation. You want to get some new furniture. You want to invest in fucking. We men, so we are providers. I'm not just saying money is useless. But it said what? If riches increase, set not thy heart upon them. Don't get big-headed and boasting and start doing all this extra crazy shit. You know? Like having fucking naked women at the Passover and all this extra shit, man, people be doing. You know, like look at Comfy with Boys the Men and all that. Where did that come from? That riches increasing. Because now you got excess funds. Now you sitting around thinking like, yo, man, we got all this money. Like, what the fuck? Now that idle time hit. Like, yo, we got all this bread, we got all this money. Like, what the hell we gonna do with what we gonna do? So now you start thinking about vain, dumb, stupid shit to do.
Call one, yeah.
Yeah. You know?
That's why I said the James 5th chapter. You know what I mean?
Why people can't be mature about shit, you know? Why you can't deal with shit like an adult? You know, why you gotta, well, I'm talking about the men, the women, another thing. Why you gotta act like a fucking kid all the time, you know? And do silly, dumb, stupid shit that's gonna get you jammed up. Why you can't come across a blessing or a little something from this world and deal with it in a responsible way? Like everybody fucking else. You know, that's why Jay can't have shit. The Lord tried, you know what he say in Poetic Justice, I tried to give you a little something, but you in Chicago, brush that weak ass fade, try to give your ass a little something before I quit your ass. Ask the Lord on Jake, man. Before I burn y'all niggas up, try to look you out for a blessing. Now I'm gonna take my shit away.
We give him an entry, take him out.
Yeah, kind. How people make you mad, man?
Hey, he said, was that Timothy charged them that are rich in this world not to be high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, man. And that's what's gonna get a lot of people bugged out because they trust in this. It's funny because uncertain riches, the economy is very uncertain, man. The stock market is volatile. All right, the banking system is all uncertain. But that's what our people, especially our people, but that's what these Babylonians trusted. They think that that this economy can't falter. It can't be penetrated. It can't go down, man. And then because they have that unfeigned trust in that unwavering trust in something that is corruptible, when the Lord destroys it, it's going to completely bug out everybody in this place, man. They're going to completely bug the hell out. That's why even when the stock market dropped like 1,000 points or whatever, you got a lot of especially like Edomites, because they're the ones that got a lot of money in there. But they get like really, their day is like really upset. Like their day is really, they're really frustrated, yo. I be seeing it at work, though. Like, man, this fucking the stock market, man. It's just they gotta do better, because like that's all they see, man. It's like, yo, if that shit goes down, all they're thinking about is, yo, my money. And that's only 1,000 points. The shit still got 34,000 points, but you over here crying about 1,000. So if that shit drops 20,000, man, you gonna see a lot of people jumping out of buildings. Fucking, it's gonna be wild, man.
Yeah. Hey, what the Lord said in the seed that fell amongst the thorns. They got the cares of this world and the deceitfulness. He said that he ain't say riches. He said the deceitfulness of riches had choked the word and they became unfruitful.
Yep.
So it's the deceitfulness of riches that your hopes that this and that, but you was in an illusion. It was a facade. It wasn't really what it seemed to be. You know? Like Big said on that Biggie movie, he was like, yeah, man, you made it. D-Rock came home, so Big in the hospital. He's like, you made it. He's like, man, it ain't all what it's cracked out to be. He was like, well, it beats the corner. He was like, yeah, it do beat the corner. Right. But he said what? It ain't all what it's cracked out to be.
And that's what all these celebrities say.
And that's what they talking about, the American dream.
Yeah. You have all these celebrities talking about their right. If they could, they'd give it all up, man. They be saying that people think they joking, but they really serious about it. I got a scripture. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and I'm gonna start off at verse 6. It says, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, which our people doing now. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. Here's the point I want to bring out. It said, what have pride profited us, or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? And vaunting tells, I think vaunting means like speaking proudly, you know, speaking like vain pride and shit. You know what I'm saying? What have these riches profited us, man? Because you have our people that get all these riches, like where are they profiting them really? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's uncertain riches. Because it's not rich, it's riches that can be cankered, it's riches that are moth-eaten, they're corruptible riches. All these riches are riches that you cannot attain because you got them. You cannot fully attain it because you're getting it from Esau, man. And you had to sell your soul to get them. So these riches that our people have is not really, it hasn't profited them anything, man. And that's why I said, what riches, what did you read that? When you said, what riches profit in the day of wrath?
No, I didn't read that.
What riches profit in the day of wrath?
They said riches profit not in the day of wrath.
Not profit, not in the day of wrath. You know what I'm saying? So like, what good could riches really do nowadays? Because the money system is, they get into where it's going to be, it's all digital, man. People hardly carry cash anymore at all. You know know what I'm saying? And it's not even about choice. It's just the fact that like you don't need to carry cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be hard even for me. I try to keep like a few singles on me.
Yeah.
But that shit hard, man. I'd be like, damn, I ain't got $1. Cause it'd be like little situations. You like, man, I need $1. Or I need, you know, you got to put air in your tire. Like, yo, cause one of my tires got a slow leak. So like, you know, once a week I put air in it till I get it patched or whatever.
I hit a quick checkup. It's free air. Quick check on YAHAWAH. I don't think they got them in the city.
In New York, them shits is like scarce. If any, maybe they upstate, but in the city, nah. So, I'll be looking around like for quarters and shit. Like, yo, damn, I ain't got no fucking $1. Or Jake walk out and tap the window. Like, yo, you got $1? And I'll be really wanting to give him $1 or like some change. And I'll be like, nah, like, I ain't got no cash. No cash. So even when I buy like a small coffee or tea, I normally just like swipe the card. Like everything like swipe the card.
That's how you know they're going to get rid of like the homeless in Babylon, because when the shit go digital, how you going to give a homeless man money? You know? And when the chip is implemented, you can't give nobody no money, man.
They want to get rid of them and the elderly.
And the elderly.
Because to them, they just like
useless eaters.
Like useless eaters, like, you know, Social Security and shit like that. They want to cut that off. You know, the nursing homes and all that. Matter of fact, it's this article. I want to, because them trucks, like the trucks in Canada.
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned that Ottawa, right? They actually, somebody actually got arrested. They've been protesting for like, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks now, like fully protesting. And they're basically saying that something happened to where the brother posted something about the truckers in the U.S. are starting to do something with some.
Did you type it in Google when trucks stop, America stop? It's this article I bring out like maybe twice a year for the last 3 years, but it's real relevant. Like, because truckers, right, are the bloodline and the blood, like in your body you got veins and arteries. You know, arteries bring blood throughout your body, and veins return blood back to the heart to be clean. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna try to like skim through that before it's still out. Yeah, so it's just certain paragraphs that got headlines. Just try to pull the meat off of that as much as you can.
Well, check. I'll tell you the captions. It says number one, the first one is food industry. The second one is healthcare, because you know you got the dialysis and the medical tools, equipment, uniforms, transportation. You know, it's self-explanatory. Waste removal, heavy. The retail sector, manufacturing, banking and finance, other effects. So,
okay, read the headline up top.
Okay.
Because it's gonna give a nice introduction.
Summary.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says when trucks stop, America stops, and this is from ATA Trucking.
Yeah, because trucking is a very essential job as far as like an economy go, period. You don't want to fuck with the trucks, man. And when the gas and all that go up, everything get like affected. Now, a lot of these truckers are owner-operators, meaning they got their own trucks. Meaning like, yo, if you ain't coughing up a certain amount of bread, I'm not moving this motherfucker. Right. You know, like with Amazon, like they could, like you could actually sit home and like negotiate rates, like with freight movers. You know, and if they not talking the right, you kind of got the leverage if you like a owner operator or you got like a CDL. That was like the ghetto way of Jake, like so-called making it out of hood. A CDL class A, what? That was the shit. You know, we used to hear about certain individuals like, yo, he got a CDL, man. He had it for about 2 years. He bought him a house and everything. So you hear about, because trucking is like a real lucrative, because that is like a major thing that runs an economy for all of, when it come in, that's what exports, right?
DOT.
Yeah, the DOT, the ports and all the goods that's exported into America.
Yeah. Imported,
yeah. Imported
shit, though,
into America.
I don't think America exports like that, but whatever they might export, you know what I'm saying? But
not with that petrodollar around. They got everything coming into here with the petrodollar. because either you trade commodities to get the petrol, or to buy oil,
Right.
like commodities, or you got to transfer your currency into U.S. currency.
Yep. And that's what the world is trying to get rid of. We cool.
Yeah, his voice is.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he said all the. Say it again, Elder.
No, it's, I didn't want to interrupt, but what I was saying was that all the imports and all the things that come into America, those are the delicacies that it's talking about in Revelation.
Right, at 18, right?
Yeah.
They said they got rich off of her delicacies.
Right. Oh, yeah, because they that's man, damn. I didn't even think of that.
It said that America is the biggest importer of goods out of all the countries in the world. They import the most. Goods out of all the countries. So all of the merchants get rich off of America.
Yeah, you got people on. I ordered something on Etsy. You know that?
Yeah.
Site? I'm like, yo, why this shit taking so long to come? That shit was coming from India.
Yeah.
So you got even small merchants that's like independent merchants.
Right.
You know that sewing something or whatever. It's all trying to get to a hold of the American market to some point or some type of way.
Cost in this too. So it starts with commercial truck traffic is vital to our nation's economic prosperity and plays a significant role in mitigating adverse economic effects during a national or regional emergency. Our economy depends on trucks to deliver 10 billion tons of virtually every commodity consumed, over 80% of all freight transported annually in the U.S. In the U.S. alone, that accounts for $700.4 billion worth of goods, $700.4 billion worth of goods transported by truck.
Damn.
Word, that shit crazy. Trucks haul 65.6% of the shipment of value into Canada and 67% of the shipment of value into Mexico.
Right, so that's why the borders, you know, that's why there's all havoc and chaos going on with those borders. So man, the judgment is, I don't know what these people doing or what, you know, what they blinded by, but like the Lord got the judgment is still up there. You know, things still going down. Even though this Omicron, see, people's eyes was on the COVID. The Omicron is calming down. They ain't seem like people chilling or whatever. Nah, it's other prophecies being up. And that's all the Lord coming like a thief in the night. On a lower level.
That was just a Trojan horse.
God.
Not just to start it off. Into Mexico. It says it becomes apparent that any disruption in truck traffic will lead to rapid economic instability.
Rapid economic instability. Rapid.
Yep. The unimpeded flow of trucks is critical to the safety and well-being of all Americans. However, it is entirely possible that well-intended public officials may instinctively halt or severely restrict truck traffic in response to an incident of national or regional significance.
So once that happened, this place is gonna go to fucking hell. Whatever supplies a place got, that's gonna be it. You're gonna have to reuse diapers. You're gonna have to wash some shits out and try to reuse them again. Medical supplies like
Pads,
pads and shit. Cause look, you know, Jake, not just Jake, people, period. Human beings. When shit get rough, you gotta cut corners and you gotta be like, hey man, I was real poor before. Hey, we use the fucking newspaper. You know? Hey, I had to take shits real bad and I was in the public. It was no tissue in the bathroom. I used my motherfucking drawers and threw them shits in the garbage and kept it smoking, man. Because, hey, man, you shit got real. What you gonna do?
Literally.
Walk around with a shitty ass? I had to improvise. You know what I'm saying? I had to, brothers probably like, that's a little graphic, but I gotta be graphic because when shit get real, you gotta be like, yo, you gotta do some shit to make something happen quick. Think fast and quick. That's why I like them fast chess games on the clock, because it teaches your brain kind of like to think. Because you can make a good move in 10 minutes, 10 fucking minutes. But on the clock, it teaches you to kind of think like fast and efficient. You know, and that's what kind of really is going to be the spirit of the Lord to have us move. But people out here going to have to think ahead. You're going to have to want to be them people that think ahead in order to stay ahead. But the Lord can still collapse that at any moment He please.
Hey, you know how bad that is too, because we're thinking like that. The scripture talks about being hasty, right? But the Lord's making situations where you gotta be hasty, but because you don't have the spirit of YAHAWASHI, you don't have the wisdom. You got to be hasty. You make a hasty decision. Most likely, you're going to make the wrong decision, which is actually going to, in turn, make you in a worse position. So for us, Lord willing, we be chosen by the Lord. We can make a hasty decision in those times, but it'll be the right decision. While the majority of other people, they're making hasty decisions, but it's the wrong decision.
Yeah. To that article, it said, I'm gonna read that part again. It says, public officials may instinctively halt or severely restrict truck traffic in response to an incident of national or regional significance. And kind of low key, that's what this C-19 was. Because for the trucks was running, but they was running at low rates because like a lot of stores was closed.
Right.
And a lot of places wasn't allowing, a certain, shit happening. So like, let's say you had a restaurant that was closed. That contract for that trucking company wasn't going to those places, so they had to go to other places. You know what I'm saying? And
the gas rise.
Yeah, and the gas rise. You know what I'm saying? So all this plays a factor into why the trucks are so important. And that's why they had to keep them on the roads. But and most people they was going to was like medical facilities, because those are the people that still was kind of up and running. You know what I mean? In the time when the pandemic first got that real lockdown.
But a lot of their deliveries was late.
A
lot of people, they was like a lot of that. Remember they put the cargo ships on hold for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And they started recently letting them in. So it wasn't just the truckers. The truckers was just like, yo, I'm trying to haul shit, but they got this shit jacked up in the ocean, letting it in little by little by little by little. So people got Amazon Prime like, yeah, my shit should be here tomorrow. That shit came 3 weeks later.
Right.
You like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, man, this place is going down. Like, your hopes and trust. But they was warning you, like, it could do to someone that you can take longer.
I know people still impatient.
Yeah, because they're used to their shit. Like, I'm paying my money for Prime. I want my shit now. You know what I'm saying? So, Americans are spoiled.
Yeah.
You know?
And, go ahead. No, also, too, one last thing, there's been a lot of accidents with truck and trailer. I'll be driving on the road, and there's been a lot of truckers getting into accidents. And that goes to part to where, like, niggas not getting enough sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't get enough sleep and you get behind a big rig, you guarantee, and they always at exits, I noticed.
Yeah.
They always at the exit.
I always drive in front of them or behind them.
Yeah,
I never drive.
Side, yeah.
I never drive on the side of them. Yeah. Ever since I learned how to drive, my instructor told me, like, listen, with these trucks, either you speed up and go ahead of them, or you stay behind them a nice distance. But never, ever drive on the side of them. Them shits can easily kill you. All that weight and metal and the speed they be going, hitting your little ass car, man. If the Lord willing, you could easily be out of there.
Yeah. But, Yep. Reading on in this article, it says, history has shown us the consequences that result from a major disruption in truck travel. Immediately following 9/11 terrorist attacks, significant truck delays at the Canadian border crossing shut down several auto manufacturing plants in Michigan because just-in-time parts were not delivered. The economic cost to these companies was enormous. Following Hurricane Katrina, trucks loaded with emergency goods were rerouted, creating lengthy delays in delivering urgently needed supplies to the stricken areas. Although in the face of an elevated threat level, a terrorist attack or pandemic,
and this is an old article.
This is old, you said, right?
But it's relevant.
Because it's like ongoing. Like, to the economy. The economy, you know what I mean? A terrorist threat or pandemic halting truck traffic may appear to be the best defense. It actually puts citizens at risk. Officials at every level of government must recognize that a decision to halt or severely curb truck traffic following a national or regional emergency will produce unintended health and economic consequences, not only for the community they seek to protect, but for the entire nation.
Right. So hit some of them subtitles.
Okay.
Go to garbage.
Garbage, waste disposal, waste removal. The EPA, well, the Environmental Protection Agency estimates that Americans generate more than 236 million tons of municipal or household waste annually.
Yeah, because what? You can't forget about, you got all kinds of fucking trucks, dump trucks, garbage trucks. These garbage trucks, yo, if the garbage truck miss a run,
Right.
oh, I don't know where the fuck y'all live at, but if the garbage truck miss a run, man,
Raw
man,
sewage.
people like in places like New York City, like them garbage trucks really can't afford to miss.
That's why they get paid so much.
Yo, miss no runs like that. Yo, that place, the whole neighborhood was stink. Don't let it be summertime. The whole neighborhood was stink the fuck up bad. Imagine a week without the like garbage trucks running.
Pick up.
What? You know, like people got diapers and all of that fumes and smell. You can imagine like how, like people be just getting sick by smelling that shit, man.
And also too, you see dump trucks on the road, they're always driving fast because they got a time limit. They gotta get to their stop. If you ever notice when you're next time you're on the road, notice a dump truck is always really kind of moving fast because they gotta get to that quota. You know what I mean?
Yeah, them trucks do be hauling ass,
Yeah.
period. But I never,
But
I
peep
gotta
the dump
pay
truck
for
though,
the
yeah.
peep the dump
Peep the
truck,
dump trucks.
yeah.
So continuing on, it says this does not take into account manufacturing, medical, or other types of commercial waste.
Ooh.
So that's not even talking. That's just talk about the household and the whatever they said, like regular shit, households. And it says within days of a truck stoppage, you said a week, right?
Yeah.
Americans will literally be buried in garbage with serious health and environmental consequences.
Yeah.
They said days.
I try to give it a week.
Yeah.
But these
There's shit
heavily
every day.
populated areas,
Mm-hmm.
like garbage run 3 times a week in EO where I'm at. Cause you got bulk day,
Yeah.
and then you got bulk day is Wednesdays, Mondays, and one of
think
the
Monday,
other
Wednesday.
days. And it's 3 days. One is like recycle,
Yeah, Tuesday,
one
Thursday,
is bulk,
yeah.
and 2 is like regular garbage.
Right.
So imagine that shit just like piling and piling and piling up. Eventually it's gonna go into the street. Now the roads is blocked. You can't drive through your car with that shit. If you probably did, you probably get a flat.
Right.
Like, yo, the street is blocked off because people got furniture and shit. So it's like the road, certain streets was like dead. It wasn't originally a dead end, but from shit piling up, it became like a dead end.
Yep. It gets worse. And it says further, without fuel deliveries, many waste processing facilities will be unable to operate equipment such as backhoes and incinerators. That burns the garbage. You know, the, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Them incinerators play for the building, like the projects.
Right.
Man, the incinerators was the shit. You know, you just don't, you know, just take it, throw it, and it burns it.
Yeah.
And that was a great system to help get rid of a lot of garbage, man. New York City is bad with garbage, man. I can't imagine them garbage trucks going down out there. They get paid bread too. You're asking garbage truck driver dude out there, you get paid how much?
They said that New York City truck drivers, garbage men, they were averaging like $200,000, $300,000 a year just off of the OT that they was making.
Damn.
I'm like,
I didn't think
damn,
it was
yeah,
that
I didn't
much.
think it was
thought
that
like
either.
150.
But they was making a lot more because of like how they had the outside.
Well over 6.
No, I didn't ask a question.
I think you
Don't
seen
be
me over there
scared.
before. I'm not scared.
So you can answer, right?
You recording?
Yeah. Can I?
Nah, you can't record us. We on YouTube.
You on YouTube?
Yeah.
You could just go
Why you
on
want to
YouTube.
record us though?
Because I wanna keep the answer.
But it's on YouTube, bro. Cause I'm saying that because a lot of people, they do their own personal recordings to do funny things with the video. You can just go on YouTube.
All right,
If you coming in
I'm gonna just put
listen,
it
if
down.
you coming in sincere spirit, just ask your question, we answer it, because we in heavy prophecy
All right.
right now.
The promise was made to the seed of Abraham.
Right?
Right?
He was last time. I remember him, man.
The promise was made to the seed of Abraham, right?
Yeah.
Seed, singular.
How many children
Not to
Abraham
the
had?
seed, not to the seeds, but seed, singular.
How many children he had?
Who is the seed of Abraham?
How many children did he have?
I'm talking.
I'm asking you,
The
how many
seed
children
of
he had?
Abraham is one, Jesus Christ. And in Jesus Christ, There is no Greek,
There's no Jesus is
and
Greek.
there is no Jewish.
What's your question?
We are one
What's your question?
in Christ.
What's your
What's the
question?
question?
You said you
My
wanted a question.
is, why are you guys saying something like,
What are we saying?
my wife is white,
What are we
so
saying?
my wife is gonna go to hell?
What are we saying? What are we saying?
That's what
You
I
had a
heard.
question.
Yeah.
So what are we saying?
So what do you think about it? That's the question.
What question? You didn't ask the question.
Okay. What do you think about it? That's
Think
my
about what?
question. The seed of Abraham is one.
One seed. How many children did Abraham have?
The seed of Abraham. The promise was hey, the promise was to the seed of Abraham, right? No? To the seed of Abraham. It's one.
I don't
It's
know.
a single
What's your
one.
point, though? What's your point?
What is you trying to say?
He says he wants to try to save his wife because his wife is an Edomite. And she may not even be an Edomite. She may just look like a white woman. But it doesn't mean that she actually has to
She's
be a white
Korean.
woman. Huh?
She's Korean.
All right. So she may be a Moabite or she may not be. It depends on her spirit. All right. Have you read the scriptures where it says that our spirit bears witness with the spirit that we are
What
the children
about
of the Most
what
High?
about Galatians 3:28?
What ab-
That's Jew versus Greek, but you ain't
And,
going.
and he's saying the King James. You're using the King James.
Listen,
My favorite Bible. He's
listen.
saying right there.
You a distraction. We was going into prophecy. Unless you want to stick around for that, the Israelite foreigner topic, they went over it with you before. You didn't understand. You didn't go, obviously.
prophets are outside the Bible?
Listen, my brother. Obviously, you didn't go home and research the scriptures that was given to you. Because
Yeah.
if I wasn't here, I believe, because these my brothers, that everything was explained to you. But instead of you going home and researching and praying to the Lord that He open your understanding of what was said, because we could go through all that again, but that'd be another 2 hours. And I'm not about to put the prophecy, which is important, on hold because you failed to study. I'm not about to do that. So either you can stand. I'm being respectful. Either you can stand around and listen to the prophecies we bringing out, and probably come back another time to talk about that, or go on YouTube and type in videos of the Israelite foreigners under GMS and get some type of understanding and come back with understanding, because what you coming with, brothers already went over with. We got to keep moving. This the time. You know about the foolish virgins, the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins?
Yeah.
We the wise virgins, and we got to keep moving. And right now, prophecy right now is more relevant. We going into heavy prophecy of the Lord's second return. Not who faces this color and that color. That's small. Even though that's relevant, that is part of the doctrine. But to what's going on and what's happening in this world right now, that's small right now. We in prophecy. So get that, man. And not to be rude or nothing, but this is what the Spirit got us into right now. And if they didn't go over that with you before, I'll be glad to go over with you. But brothers probably talked to you for hours about this before. And I'm not trying to do it again. But go ahead, bring that back, bro.
What is that? Okay, so waste removal. Now I'm at the second joint. It says uncollected and deteriorating waste products create rich breeding grounds for microorganisms
and rats.
Insects. But yeah, vermin. Yeah, it's gonna say
Vermin.
insects and vermin. Hazardous materials and medical waste will introduce toxins as well as infectious diseases into living environment.
What about bed bugs?
Yeah, insects.
What about, see, the Lord can have it, like He said, I will play Egypt as before. See, the Lord can have it where, see, they don't want nothing to do with prophecy. They want them, I want to fight and argue with you. What about prophecy? Nah. They don't want nothing to do with prophecy. You know, I want to just sit there like a woman and just pick fights with you. I ain't got time for that, man. We men. It's cold, too. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, I will plague Egypt as before. If garbage and shit out here like that bring roaches, that bring lice infestation, and that also brings shit like bed bugs. Imagine the Lord had like a fucking bed bug infestation. You know, them shits breed like nothing. To where they ain't even in the house, they outside. They walking the streets, bed bugs. Just bed bugs everywhere. What? That shouldn't be hell. Roaches, rats,
ants,
mice.
Yeah, I mean, we all had them. I know I had them at one point. You know, them shits is a bitch to get rid of. I mean, with the wisdom of the Lord, you could use certain old remedies to get rid of them.
lavender.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, them shits is a real pest, man. You know, and the Lord can bring, like how he plagued it with the locusts, you know, with the frogs, the flies. The Lord can, hey, he said I plagued Egypt as before. He bring all of that stuff back with different insects, or even the same insects and more other kind of insects, where you just like, it's just like this infestation. You can't get rid of them. They just constantly breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding.
It said microorganisms, right? So, okay. This is funny. It gets deeper. It says urban areas will, of course, be significantly impacted within just a couple of days. But rural and agricultural areas, as well as food processing plants, will be impacted as well. Without waste removal and treatment, food waste, such as slaughtered animal byproducts and overripe fruits, and that's what I was thinking about, overripe vegetables, fruits and vegetables will create extremely toxic conditions. Now that's when you'll get a lot of ants coming from, and them flies. You know, they come into the fruit flies and
flies,
shit. Yeah. And if there's a lot of fruit, that means it's gonna be a lot of fruit flies. You know, and those are gonna be, they small, so it'd be so much to where they can actually make an actual thing. You can see a bunch of them, like the gnats and shit. You know what I mean? That's what it's saying. And you said urban areas will be significantly, of course, impacted within just a couple of days. So that means Jake area, man.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, Newark, New York City, Compton,
Watts.
Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit. I mean, not Detroit. What's the dirty water? Flint.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
places like that. You know what I mean, continuing on, it says, beyond the health risk, a lack of waste removal creates pollution hazards, biological pathogens, hazardous chemicals, and even radioactive materials will be released into the soil, water, and atmosphere.
Woo.
And the sheer volume of uncollected waste could block water runoff and drainage, leading to pooling and flooding. Now that's the waste, and now it goes to the retail sector. You want me to read a couple of those?
Yeah.
Because that's actually a little bit. It says the retail sector. A disruption of truck delivery to retail outlets will have serious effects on both consumers and retailers. It says replenishment of goods will be disrupted. Many of the nation's leading retailers rely on just-in-time delivery, I think you mentioned that, to keep inventory levels as low as possible so you don't get overwhelmed. Similar to the low unit of measure hospital inventory system. These stores rely on frequent deliveries to replenish basic goods. Often delivery of a shipment is not triggered until the current inventory is nearly depleted. Without truck deliveries, retailers will be unable to restock goods, including consumer basics such as bottled water, canned goods,
tampons,
and paper products. Yeah. And it says, consumer behavior during emergencies triples the rate of inventory turnover, which means since many large retail outlets, print mass mode, typically keep inventories as lean as possible. Problems often arise quickly during truck transportation slowdowns that occur from crises such as hurricanes.
Yeah, but guess what? People start jacking the trucks.
Yep.
They showed you that on Fast and the Furious.
Yep.
Like, so people will say it's a squad of dudes. We the prophets, but say us, for example. We like, yeah, man, we got pistols or whatever. Yeah, I got wind, my cousin, an insider. It's this truck full of food coming up the turnpike. MC number 78.64, and we jump in our cars, and you know it's a whole fucking truck.
Yeah.
Before we get to the nearest Stop and Shop, we trying to intercept it, and we gonna break it down amongst us and our families. You gonna have people out there like that to where the truck driver. I believe a lot of truck drivers be strapped anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like just the different areas. And,
Especially private ones.
yeah, I think they be having pistols and shit with them anyway. Yeah, so like these, man, the robbery levels, like you got a truck. I think that was in the Roll or the Walking Dead.
It's a lot of
He
them.
had a whole big ass truck. I think it was the Walking Dead. He had a truck load full of food, but the shit wound up like getting thrown in the lake or some shit. And the shit like drowned it. They wound up not like eating it. It was a whole like a U-Haul type truck full of food and goods and shit.
That's why if you ever notice, if trucks is pulled over, like say a truck is down for some reason, they put the three little triangle things on the ground. You ever notice sometimes certain trucks they have police with them because they know that niggas could like run up and try to like do something.
Yeah. Man, them packages and shit, like not just food, but you kind of got when that shit. That's a resource, you know. But jump to read the brothers can read it on their own. The whole article is fire. But jump to medical real quick.
Yeah, that's
We want to leave that.
Oh, healthcare. Okay.
Yeah, healthcare.
Okay, healthcare. Both healthcare providers and consumers rely on regular delivery of medicine and healthcare supplies to hospitals, pharmacies, nursing homes, and other healthcare facilities.
Yeah, because you need to change them oxygen masks. You need to change the bed. You know, a lot of nursing homes,
It is, right?
they got the fucking what they call bed sores, where they need to constantly change them pads.
Good.
You know, and that comes from them laying in one spot for too long without them turning them and shit. Needles. They're gonna have to reuse like the needle, like Miss Johnson. Don't worry, this your same needle from 2 days ago. We
Biden
put-
coming out giving them little crack pipes now.
But they try to denounce that. They said, nah. Well, you know what's funny? That's how you know Esau gonna have to go against his grain because you really not supposed to reuse needles. That's actually like it's not
So
right there.
unsanitary.
Unsanitary. And
Yeah.
it's like you could.
They gonna have to.
But that shit gonna kill people
Right.
because you're gonna infect the shit.
Right.
You know how they do.
You gonna, hey, do that shit or not get your medicine, you gonna die anyway. Hey, you might, hey, that's what it's gonna be out
Gotta be
here.
a shadow of
It's
death.
gonna be like, yo, well, we gonna die anyway. I might as well take it. I mean, what's the saying? You miss 100% of shots you don't take. So you might as well like give that shit a shot. You don't believe in the Lord.
Word.
You don't know the name of the Lord.
That's how Esau.
He got your medicine, but the only way you could take it intravenously. If you don't take it, you're gonna drop fucking dead. So you might as well use that old needle and take it and hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's what it's gonna be for a lot of people.
You know what I thought? You know what I thought of you saying that? I thought about people that's on dialysis, man.
Oh,
Because you know if they don't get that shit removed within I know it's one
like
what I know. It's a
3 to
week.
5 days.
It said a week. It's like if they don't get the
The
week,
fluid build up around their heart,
like,
and that's
and
it.
they lungs and they drown.
And they drown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I seen the one do dialysis trucks. I was like, damn, so if this shit ain't get to the destination.
And dialysis use a lot of equipment. Like to run that machine, basically the machine act as a kidney.
Yeah, it's a kidney,
Because dialysis is kidney failure. So the machine act, remember, your kidneys work 24/7. You only on that machine 3 hours. So that's 3 hours compared to 24/7. So how much waste is really being removed from your body? Not a lot. So you, even though you on that machine, it's just enough to keep you alive. That's why people on dialysis be going through it, man. They be
Come
going
back.
through it.
I'm gonna come back. Just let that shit sink in your head. I'm gonna come back.
It says both healthcare providers and consumers rely on regular delivery of medications and healthcare supplies to hospitals,
It's Demon Day. And we on the cut block.
pharmacies,
we
nursing
was out
homes,
there.
and other healthcare facilities. Truck delivery
Oh,
nearly
my bad. Bring that last line back.
healthcare. Both healthcare providers and consumers rely on regular delivery of medications and healthcare supplies to hospitals, pharmacies, nursing homes, and other healthcare facilities. Trucks deliver nearly all of these supplies. Al Cook, former president of the Materials Management Association and current member of the Medical Materials Coordinating Group, which is advising the U.S. Department of Health and Human Resources on emergencies.
For sure. I say I was back.
Emergencies. Anyway, Al Cook, former president of the Materials Management Association and current member of Medical Materials Coordinating Group, which is the advising of U.S. Department of Health and Human Resources on emergency preparedness, describes over the road.
I said, Carl, my former brother, respect. You didn't have to say that was shit, you know? You like, oh, this little nigga, you probably...
Preparedness describes over the road
Oh, I
commercial
respect.
transportation as life and death to being able to care for sick people.
Yeah, so that's
You gonna
going to
be
be
in the video with
also mad stress on the nurses, you know?
I ain't gonna say nothing. I just want to be in the video with y'all.
Yo,
Oh,
bro,
right.
you being disruptive.
I'm sorry, but y'all respect. This is about God, right?
You just
I'm
being
on 20,
disruptive.
22. I might be 23
It
soon.
don't matter. You a grown
Lecture.
man. It don't
Lecture
matter your
me.
age,
Lecture me.
bro. You being disruptive.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. All right.
All right,
talk.
thank you. All right, go ahead.
Without truck transportation, patient care within the truck stoppage zone will be immediately jeopardized. And you see a lot of this immediate stuff, like it's like quick.
Yeah.
According to Cook, many hospitals have moved to a just-in-time inventory system. In fact, some work from a low unit of measure system, the means that essential basic supplies, such as syringes and catheters. I don't know what that is.
Catheters. That's
Catheters.
the thing that cover the dialysis hole.
Okay. And it's
Like
crazy.
that they keep swapping out so it won't get infected.
Right.
Like they got certain plastic tubings and shit that they swap out
Yeah,
constantly
gotta get the
so it
screws
won't
and
get
clean.
infected, and they got constantly cleaning.
Cause you gotta put the stuff back in too.
Right,
Yeah. Okay, catheters.
So let me know when y'all go recording.
Okay, syringes and catheters are not ordered until the suppliers are depleted. These systems depend on trucks to deliver needed supplies within hours of order placement. Damn. Internal redistribution of supplies in hospitals could forestall a crisis for a short time. However, in a matter of hours, hospitals would be unable to supply critical patient care.
Right, so you asked out. Even if they wanted to help, you asked out.
And I go to show that they don't. Not, you said they don't trust in the Lord, because the Lord has things that can help your body. But now everybody's gonna so rely on this technology of Esau, because Esau's playing God.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So when he run out of supplies, that's it.
They've been talking about how the hospitals right now with the whole pandemic thing, they've been overrun and they can't really help a lot of people because everybody going there. That's why got the C-19, whatever. So, and that's just on just a couple, dozen more people going into the hospitals because they're sick. Imagine if it gets to this point where they can't even now, they don't even have the materials to actually help the people that are there, man. The
They gonna have to lock
pestilences.
the doors.
More pestilences, and then you have more pestilences on top of a trucker strike or whatever, something like that. The whole medical industry will collapse, man.
Will be compromised. Yeah.
They already had the thing with the nurse shortages, for the people that are not getting the thing. You know what I'm saying? So if
So
nurses
less
leaving their
workers.
job, so
Yeah.
like the workers that's there getting with that
Overworked.
overwhelmed. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Stressed
it's a whole
out.
trickle down effect to the thing.
Hey, that's the article on. It's called "When Trucks Stop, America Stop." So brothers can check their time out and read it when they want. But hey, you got a question, bro? Yo, you got a question?
Oh, shit. What's that?
You got a question?
Oh, yeah, I got to play a question, bro. Oh, word? Oh, I still went my turn.
Yeah, because we about to get out of here. You gotta be
Oh,
serious.
it's called. I know it's called. Oh, all right. It's recorded?
Nah, it don't matter. Like, what's
I
the
don't matter
question?
why I
What's the
still
question? What's the question?
It's got real. CIP. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah. That's just
Well,
question
that's
like that, huh?
the Lord is real, but it's a thing about faith. though.
Reason.
It's a thing
Faith.
about faith. So the Lord, the Most High, will show you that He's real. You know what I mean, and reveal it to you if you believe.
Okay.
You know, because can you give me that? This wicked generation look for a sign, because people wanted a sign of the Most High, but He's like, you shall get no sign. You know, but you gotta see, we gotta prove ourselves to the Lord. He don't have to
got to.
prove ourselves to
So you
us.
ready to give us life?
Right.
Facts.
So what other question you got? We gonna get the scripture right now.
Why all y'all sides? What?
Huh?
Why all y'all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why all y'all sides? What?
While we outside?
Yeah, just
we
movement.
we
It's
profit.
march. It's like a march to me. I see it like y'all not walking around, but y'all still it. It's like a march to me. It's support the community.
The Lord told us to come out and preach His word, declare His
Today.
word to the
Today.
Yeah, today.
Not like yesterday, not like the other day. Today.
Well, we got order amongst our church to where we have certain days where we come out to do the work of the Lord. But the Lord put the Spirit on us individually to do videos on YouTube to let His word out through the internet too.
Right.
But as far as our outside gathering, we got through the Spirit of the Lord.
Curious
It's
that's
today.
nigga, yeah.
It's today.
Okay, wow.
What you asked for is
Yeah.
Matthew 16:4. You want to get to
Yeah,
it?
I'm doing
Hit the
this.
point. Yeah.
With Matthew 16, verse 4, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. That's Yahweh speaking. The Lord.
Yeah, so a lot of people want a sign of the Heavenly Father for him to prove to them that he's real so they can believe in him. But the Most High, like, yo, I'm God.
Okay.
You got to prove to me, to you, and I still might kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right,
like,
right.
a lot of people got things, like, backwards and different that the Most High had to prove himself to him. The Lord showed, we believe. The Lord said, people see me. He told the disciples, you see me and believe, but blessed be those that don't see me and believe. And we see chariots, we see all types of miracles. I had a fever that was shut 105, 107.2 when I caught the COVID.
You caught it.
My organs supposed
Oh, wow, that's
to
a
have,
big thing. I should record it. It's a big thing.
my organs supposed to
Nobody
have
called-
shut down,
nobody
but
called
by
it.
calling upon the name of the Lord, I was delivered.
Oh, wow,
So that's a
okay.
sign right there.
Okay.
So, you got any more questions?
I mean, okay, so you call it COVID. So how do you feel about people dying in New York? Over COVID. Is it an alley thing? It's like an old
Rock 11
thing?
and 14. Oh, listen, whether it's New York, well, you talking about the
'Cause
19?
you know, New York
you
is
talking
packed.
about
They
the
walk on the
19?
sidewalk together. It's like they call to sneeze or whatever. Nah, this day, this generation. No, matter of fact,
It don't matter.
2021.
Listen, you gotta listen for the response, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Now look,
I'm hard-headed.
no, well, you gotta learn to stop being
22, big bro.
It don't matter your age. You know, if you deal with our history of our people, we was mature way at 12, at 14.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter if you 22. That's a
Vietnam
cop-out.
was real, huh?
We all grown, so you gotta learn to stop being hard-headed, right?
Okay.
So this, no matter where the death,
They don't teach shit. They don't teach them
listen,
kids
you gotta
no
listen
shit
to
at
the
school, you
response.
heard?
No matter where the death happened at, this is where it came from. Read that.
It said 17:4, right?
11 and 14.
Oh, 11 first. This is Sirach chapter 11 verse. Yeah, you got it. 11 verse 14.
Right?
It says, prosperity and adversity.
Prosperity and adversity. When you're doing
big
good
verse.
and when you're doing bad.
Okay.
When your life is in good standards and when your life is in bad standards. Prosperity and adversity. Read on.
Yep. And life and death,
Life and death. Read on.
poverty and riches
Poverty and riches
Chill.
come of the Lord.
come of the Lord.
That's
So,
it?
I mean, what other answer you want?
Everybody want to be rich, right?
Wow. Oh, wow. See, I came out here. I know the weather was like this.
Uh-huh.
Y'all want to donate nothing.
You out here.
Cause, oh, wow, I'm homeless. Oh, wow. Don't judge the book by the cover.
Now I'm just saying.
Read the pages.
The point, if you homeless, that's different. But
My shelter wise.
listen. Well,
I get money.
That's your situation.
Panhandling.
Listen, that's your situation.
That's
but
a crime.
people come out here for work. People come out. This is what
I
I'm
do
saying.
it, bro. I go work. This don't got no job.
Listen.
What am I supposed to be in the house bored? No,
You gotta
panhandling.
give ear, right? People, what I was saying was this: people come out here to work. People come out here for women.
I'm not trying to
people
start-
come out here for
just came out of jail.
things of folly,
Just
right?
came out of jail. The
So
24th.
why we
January.
can't come out
Got
here to
locked up
serve
on
the
the
Lord? That's all I'm saying. You're not even listening.
I'm not
So-
hard. I told you this before, big bro.
Well, that's the reason
No,
why
I'm
I'm not
listening.
going to entertain you no more.
No, I'm
We're
listening.
going to close down and leave.
Okay.
If you got any other questions, come back another time. And we
Y'all gonna be out here?
here next week.
What day? 'Cause I'm a curious guy. You can raise. I'm
If
curious.
we out here, we move around.
I know.
See now the Lord. See now at one point the Lord, people were able to come one
I'm a
week and
Seventh-day
find us
Adventist.
every time. Now people can't even find us because the Lord might put the Spirit on us to go somewhere else. So that's if you find us. That's why it's not us. It's what we're saying. The
Yeah, I mean,
Lord's
Elizabeth,
word.
the city.
That's if the Lord grant you permission to run into us again.
By the
Because
Spirit,
we
bro.
move around. So don't take, when you run into us and encounter us, don't take it for granted. Because that's the Lord showing you having mercy. At one point, people could come and find us like that. Oh, they're going to be here at the same time, every time. Now, if it's
I
you
want to
might
see
not
loyalty.
see it.
That's all. I just want some loyalty, man. Somebody talk to me.
help you with the question. You know where we die? You know what? We die.
Let the blind lead the blind. They shall both fall into
Talk to
the
me.
ditch.
shit. Already? Already, you got up. Already, huh? Show the camera here, show the camera here.
Yeah, I watch you. Yeah,